So the list of manual transmission cars continue to dwindle down, but the BMW M4 remains one of the few cars that are still offered with a choice of a manual transmission. Now, I've already driven the M4 competition with the 8-speed automatic, and today I'm going to be driving the manual and share if the 6-speed is the one you really want to get. Alright, so I'm going to preface the review by saying that this is a pre-refreshed M4, but the LCI refresh didn't make any major mechanical changes to the 6-speed manual car. So what I'm going to tell you in this video should also apply to the 2025 model year LCI refreshed M4 competition and also 6-speed manual car. Now, I'm only going to take another minute to tell you about the differences between the 6-speed manual and 8-speed automatic M4, and then we're going to go for a drive. So first things first, only the base version of the M4 comes with a choice of a manual transmission. Competition cars are automatic only. Next, the engine is the same as the competition model, but it makes a little less horsepower. 473 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque here. The competition model comes in at 503 and 479, and the X-Drive car, of course, with the refresh, is 523 now. So the disparity between the 6-speed manual is 30 horsepower and 73 pounds-feet of torque, and 53 horsepower with the X-Drive car. Now, as a result of reduced power, the 6-speed accelerates slower, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds versus 3.8 and 3.4 for the competition and X-Drive cars respectively. Next, it's only available in a rear-wheel drive configuration. The wheels are actually smaller. They're 18 in the front and 19 in the rear, but you can option in the bigger wheels that come standard on the competition cars for $1,300, much like this example I have today, which measure 19 inches in the front and 20 inches in the rear. Out back, the M4 badge is in a silver chrome finish as opposed to black, and it's saying competition. And finally, the best two bits for last. The 6-speed manual car is $4,000 cheaper than the automatic competition cars, and it weighs 50 pounds less. So even though it's down on power, it makes some of it back with less weight. So that's enough talking about the car. Now let's get to the driving. All right, so inside the M4, let's take this thing for a drive so I can give you my impressions of what I feel about this 6-speed manual car. All right, put it in first, release park brake. Let's roll. And the road I'm driving on, it's a little busy today, so I'll try to give you my best impressions. Hopefully we get a clear run. Now, one of the things I always touch on when I drive the M4 is get the base seat. Don't get the competition seats because they are cool looking, yes, but they are uncomfortable and not fun to drive on a daily basis. I've driven the M4 competition with the competition seat or the bucket seat, and I recommend the base seat 10 times out of 10. Now, let me go ahead and put it in M2 mode, and I have that configured to be engine Sport Plus, gear shift assist on, chassis in Sport Plus, steering in Sport, and brake in Sport. So now, let's roll. And the rear wheel drive car definitely is a little happier on the back end. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, this road is a little uneven, so I'm going to be careful here. But okay, so in terms of speed, rev match downshift is nice, but from a speed standpoint, this is fast. Pulls hard to redline, very ferocious. Yes. Woo. Ah, yeah, I'm having fun right now. Brake pedal is good too. So, am I missing that 30 additional horsepower in the competition package car? Not really. Is there a difference? Yes, there is a difference. I can feel it, but do I care? No. Why? because it's so marginal, and because this car is quick, fast. I have no concerns in terms of speed or shortage of speed acceleration in this car whatsoever. I don't care, 30 horsepower is not making a difference here in this driving setting, and before filming this I didn't feel any shortage of speed. Now, I don't know about the 2025 competition pack with the 50 additional horsepower, but again, I don't feel like it's going to be that much of a difference, and in reality I don't care. This feels plenty fast enough. Now, let me switch over and talk about the brakes, the suspension, and the steering very quickly, and then I'll talk about the shifter and the clutch. So the steering, I remember when I drove the M3 competition and the M4 competition, it was very twitchy, very direct, accurate steering, and I'm reminded of it here again. It's just so direct, so nice in terms of responsiveness. Anything I do, it's just moving. There's no vagueness, there's no deadness. I like the steering, I guess, input or from that dynamic. The thing that it is missing, or that it can improve on, is feel. It's like most modern BMWs, it's missing a little bit in the feel department, but overall still good. Now, chassis and suspension. Actually, I'm going to talk about the brake very quickly. So the brake is good as well. It's got a lot of bite right at the top of the pedal. The way I like it, feels like a sports car, sporty car, and plenty of braking capability for this much power. There's a Tesla Model S Plaid there, and I'm not going to try and beat it as these lanes merge, because that thing will smoke the crap out of me. That is a very fast car. But anyway, let's get back to the M4, and to round out the other dynamics, it's the suspension and the chassis. Again, reminded that it's wonderful. When I drove the M3 and the M4, the competition pack cars, they are very balanced, very neutral feeling, confidence inspiring handling cars. And again, reminded of it here in the base car. Wonderful dynamics, and it's just a joy to drive. Very capable in this mountain setting, and also capable enough and comfortable enough to drive on a daily basis. Now, let me switch over and talk about the real magic here, and that is the shifter and the clutch, or the real topic. So from a clutch standpoint, I really like it a lot. I came in here and there's no confusion. I figured it out very quickly. Grab point is nice, linear, progressive. It's different than what I felt in the M2 competition car, or the M2. I don't even remember if it's the competition car. It was such a while ago. But the M2 had a little bit of a bite in the clutch pedal, and this one doesn't. Very neutral, linear, progressive clutch pedal feel. I like it a lot. The shifter is good as well. Good quality, feels good in your hand. Nice, crisp throws, and it's very tight. It feels nice, like a good build quality, I guess, if you can call it that, in terms of a shifter, if you can call a shifter that. So let's get a quick run here. Wheel spin, yes baby, look at that thing go. It grips really nice in the back for a rear wheel drive car with this much power. Ooh, man. Yes, I really enjoy driving this M4. From the looks on the outside, those are one thing. From a driving dynamic standpoint, these M3s and M4s, there's little to complain about, to be honest. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the shifter. So the shifter, the one thing that I would say needs improvement about it is the mechanical feel, because it's a very typical BMW shifter, notchy, kind of rubbery feeling, but I wish it had a little bit more mechanical feel, so it could improve in that area. But if you are a If you've driven a BMW manual shifter before, you will feel right at home with the shifter. It's a classic BMW feeling shifter. It's improved. It's a lot better than what it used to be in terms of like too much notchiness and rubberiness, but good shifter. I like it. Needs a little bit more mechanical feel. The other nice thing about the rev match upshift and downshift is you have the ability to turn it off no matter what mode you're in. So if you're just daily driving, you don't want the rev match upshift, downshift on, you can go ahead and turn it off. And the reason why I bring this up, most recent memory, I drove a 6-speed manual or 7-speed manual Porsche 911 Carrera S, and those, you cannot turn the rev match upshift on and off independent of the mode. Those are tied to the mode, so whether you like it or not, you're kind of locked into it. But not here, so good job to BMW for independently allowing you to tune that. It does have the hill start, I guess, where when you're on an uphill, it'll hold the car to prevent it from rolling backwards. So from a practicality standpoint, it's a good shifter as well. Now, overall, what is this a good pairing? The 6-speed manual with this generation of the M3. Yes, it's a resounding yes for me, actually. It's a fast car. The shifter, the transmission, the clutch pedal, the engine pairing, I think they work very, very well. But one of the things I think I am missing here compared to the competition pack car is the additional torque. I wish I had that 80 pound-feet of torque more in this car, because with the manual shifter and then the additional torque, it'll make it more practical to drive on a daily basis. But again, like I said at the earlier part of the drive, I have no concerns in terms of speed or acceleration. Frankly, I don't care. I don't want the additional 30 or 50 horsepower, because the driving engagement that I get with the manual is just on a different level. So the thing I always say when I drive manual transmission cars, I always look forward to it. And I tell people, it's like manual transmission cars are fun because they're fun to drive fast, the engagement standpoint of it. They're also fun to drive slow. So if they make a regular mundane drive, like for example, you're going to the grocery store or your regular Monday commute to work, a manual transmission car makes that fun, makes that engaging, makes you connected to your car. And I think for those reasons, the manual transmission car is superior in any configuration, in my opinion, for most cars. So that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of the driving dynamics. Now let's wrap it up with some final thoughts. All right, so that's the 6-speed BMW M4, and I'm going to cut directly to the chase here and say that I would pick the base 6-speed car over the 8-speed competition cars for the following reasons. The manual transmission car is just funner to drive, and this really isn't a surprise because manual transmission cars are generally funner to drive and more engaging than an automatic car. Second, I feel that the power levels of the base car are much better matched to the chassis and the rear-wheel drive configuration compared to the higher horsepower rear-wheel drive and X-Drive cars. Third, because of the two reasons I just mentioned, I feel the base car is a better driver's car. And finally, it's a manual transmission car. And because I like manual transmission cars and I want them to be around for a very long time, I need to buy a manual transmission car or recommend a manual transmission car. So I will absolutely support that cause. So for me, manual transmission M4 all day long, and I don't care if it has less horsepower. So that's pretty much all I've got. If you have any questions about this M4, please make sure you leave me a comment down below or send me a message on Instagram @DriveSteady. If you happen to be interested in an M4 competition or M3 competition car, here are links to those videos. If you're shopping between an M4 and a Porsche 911, here's a video for that. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, drive steady.